Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I wanted to make a special video, like a breaking news report. Now, it was very hard for me to ignore the current situation unfolding in America with the whole racial divide of what's happening. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. Take a look.
There isn't a black American on earth that is surprised by what just happened to Karmelo Anthony in a stand your ground state while standing his ground. Not one black face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has ever navigated this country in melanated skin. And if you think that doesn't matter, then you haven't been paying attention to the last 400 years of American history because you don't want to. This is not new. This is the system working exactly as it was designed. The reason this keeps happening, the reason we keep standing at these grave sites, at these courthouses, at these press conferences with tears and signs and hashtags is because Black America doesn't have any collective political or economic power. When you don't control the legislation, when you don't control who sits on the bench and who draws the jury pool, your outrage, however righteous, does not move this racist machine. Liberation has never been given. It has always been taken. And until Black America builds the kind of consolidated economic and political power that makes the cost of this oppression too high to sustain, we will keep seating all white juries. They will keep shooting us in the back or in our beds while we sleep. They will keep saying they feared for their lives after they do it. Black folks, I need you to stop calling it a boycott. We're not boycotting anything. You need to circulate the black dollar forever for our economic power. It's not a boycott. It's a replacement. We will circulate the black dollar. We will build an infrastructure. We will govern ourselves because we have no choice. This pathetic society will never change. They are still raising their children to be just as racist as they are. Racism is a learned behavior. You understand? Anti-blackness is deeply rooted in every ethnic group, even within our own community. That's what we're dealing with. You want to talk about allyship? Stop trying to infiltrate our organizations and focus on stopping your people, your community, from being racist degenerates. Do the work in your own community. I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power, power to the people.
Shout out to the beautiful black educated sister Melody Angel. That was a content creator who was speaking her mind in the video. Now, I know a lot of y'all are not going to agree with what she said or agree with what I'm about to say, because I know some of y'all's true colors is low-key KKK, and that's okay. I'm all for it, because at the end of the day, everybody is welcome to see my channel and bicker and argue with me all day long and troll me. But at the end of the day, it's my channel. It's freedom of speech. I say what I want. I say what I feel. I don't sugarcoat shit. And I'm going to be honest, this may not be the content that you were expecting to see today. But just know that every video that I drop on my channel is very intentional. It's very thought out, and it's not meant to be, rage baiting, whatever you call it. A lot of people got mad at the Jay-Z video that I dropped earlier today, and they were like, why are you rage baiting? Da 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 da. I just simply made a little comedy video out of it. I just thought it was funny to me that Jay-Z decided to flash his afro and call himself black again. But people got mad about it. Something as little as that. People just argue and bicker over the silliest things I share on this channel. But just know that not every day you watch this content is going to be sunshine or rainbows or lollipops or giggle, giggle, smile, smile. Sometimes I like to intentionally drop serious content and talk about some controversial things like this. Like I said, it was very hard for me to ignore. I've thought about it long and hard before I decided to drop this video, because I want to express my 2 cents on this. There's always some damn noise in my background, but I don't even care. I'm in the car, as you could tell. But first off, I just want to express two things before I begin to deep dive into this whole controversial topic. The first thing I want to address is the fact that it's very sad for both families who obviously are suffering. The white family who lost the child to the stabbing incident, you know, it's sad. The black family lost their child now to the system. The system said, F you, we're not even going to bother giving you a chance at life. We're just going to take your life away at the hands of the court. I'm just flabbergasted how somebody can sentence a young black teenager who's never been in trouble a day in his life until this very incident that happened. Got sentenced to 35 years in prison for second-degree manslaughter and premeditated murder. 2 different charges, by the way, in case you're wondering. 35 years in a Texas state prison. That's crazy. That is a very harsh sentencing for a young teenager, especially for his first offense. Now, was it wrong? Maybe. It was a wrong, choice of action. Yes, I will agree that it was a wrong choice of action. He probably should not have stabbed, the other kid. But in his defense, I believe him. I believe that he did act in the way of self-defense, because you have to look at the specifics. You have to look at all the facts surrounding the case. The boy was a 4.0 GPA student. He wasn't even from Texas. His family moved down to Frisco from like Illinois or something like that. I forgot where they're originally from, but they're not even from there. They moved down there to start a new life, start a new journey with their new careers. Family obviously has money because they live in a big ass house in Frisco. And again, he's never been in trouble a day in his life until that incident happened. And my thought on the whole situation is that I believe, my theory, because we don't really know what happened, because I was not there, is that I think that the boy, the white boy, who confronted the black boy that started the trouble was a bully. Point blank and simple. Because from what the news said and from all the resources that I dug through and gathered, everyone's saying the same story. They're saying that Karmelo Anthony, the young black teenager who was recently sentenced with a guilty verdict, walked over to the other team's tent. Why did he walk over to the other team's tent? I don't know. I think he walked over there because he wanted to get out of the rain, from what I was told. I'm not sure if that's part of the story of why he walked over the tent, but when he walked over there, the white boy felt some type of way because he didn't want to see the Negro in their team's tent. So he confronted him and his brother. Apparently they were twins, and they decided to bully him because he was from a different team. And he said that he was in fear of his life. So he pulled out the knife and protected himself. And the knife wasn't like it was irrational. It wasn't like this big jumbo Rambo knife. I found out it was a fucking pocket knife. A pocket knife. It was like a multi-use tool. Like one of those things that has like a screwdriver on it and all these other things on it. It wasn't like, oh, it was such a treacherous weapon. He was literally going for his, throat or whatever. No, it was literally a pocket knife. He only stabbed the white boy one time in defense of his, fear that he said in defense and self-defense of him. One time in the chest. And according to the news, he was stabbed in the heart. That's how the white boy died. Now, what's so controversial about this whole situation is that you have black versus white. We already know what time it is. We've already been through 400 years of this crap. We've already been through slavery. We already know what it is. I called it what it was before the verdict even came, because I haven't really been paying attention to this case, but I already knew what the outcome was going to be. It was going to be some silly shit. You know why? Because the jury that was in that courthouse was an all-white jury. Now, what kind of shit is that? You got an all-white jury, just like they did for Trayvon Martin, ding, 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 same situation. An all-white jury let off George Zimmerman and let him go, knowing damn well he murdered Trayvon Martin. And by the way, Trayvon Martin was unarmed. Young, black, innocent teenager. Didn't bother nobody. Was on his way home, minding his business, walking in the neighborhood in a hoodie with a pack of Skittles and an Arizona green tea or Arizona tea or something like that. But yeah, he just had a pack of Skittles and an Arizona tea. And yet he still lost his life because he didn't stop for the jackass named George Zimmerman who wanted to play super cop. Mind you, he was never a cop. He was a fake-ass security guard, neighborhood watch, that decided to harass a young black boy in a hoodie and killed him for nothing. And this is what this reminds me of. Now, I understand that people are looking at Karmelo Anthony as the aggressor because he killed a white boy with a pocket knife. But if you really do a deep dive again on his background and the lifestyle that his family has created for him, he is not a criminal. He never was. He just happened to be in a situation that he could not control. And it was just one of those things where he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think he acted in self-defense. I really do. Because he was new to that school. Hell, he was new to the state. His family moved all the way down there from like Chicago or something. I forgot where they're from originally, but they're not even from Texas. They moved there to start a new journey, start a new life in old big Frisco. And Frisco is one of those very white, rich, conservative suburban neighborhoods of Dallas, North Dallas. And you already know what time it is in North Dallas. I ain't even got to explain the shit to you. If you're from around the area, you already know. Hell, I used to live over there. I didn't live in Frisco, but I lived in McKinney next door. It's just as racist. But all I'm saying is this. Before you start pointing fingers and blaming people and calling them criminals and monkeys and jigaboos because they killed a white boy and saying that he was a murderer, how about you do your damn research and look at the whole situation for what it is? This is clearly a case of racial bias and division. Literally, that's what it is. It's a case of racial bias and division. The court was set up. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody just has an all-white jury in 2026 for a black versus white crime. Nobody does that. Only in places like fucking Texas would do that shit. Because why? Texas is fucking racist. There, I said it. And guess what? I'm from there. And as a native Texan telling you this, you should listen. It's racist as fuck. And what pisses me off is the fact that it's so ingrained to the point where it's blatant racism. People call you the N-words all day long over there. And nobody does shit about it. They're on that good old boy system where if you're kin to the sheriff, you're kin to the principal, hell, you're kin to the judge, you're going to get off whatever little crime you got going on. You can be on a whole crime spree and rich and white and get away with whatever the hell you want to get away with down there. But when you're black and you're unknown and you're new to the community, you're a threat to society. And when I analyze the whole situation of the demographics between what's happening right now, I realized two things. One, Texas is ass backwards still. If you look at the structure of the whole system itself with the governor, for example, the governor ain't no better. He's a Trump sidekick, for crying out loud. And he's just as racist. You know what he did in case you don't know what he did recently. I don't really keep up with too much Texas news, but I know that right before I moved away from that hellhole, he made women's rights disappear. What am I talking about? Abortion. Women do not have abortion rights in the state of Texas. And he made it to the point where it's so strict to where if a woman has an abortion, or if they attempt to not save the baby, if she's having an ectopic pregnancy, I can't even talk. They're going to attempt to save the baby before they save her because of the abortion laws. And the woman will go to jail. She will go to prison over an abortion because Texas said it's illegal to kill a child. But what's funny is that if a person gets raped, God forbid, in the state of Texas, and they have a child, or they're about to have a child, they get pregnant, guess what? They're going to force them to have that pregnancy. Even if the child is a minor. It's sick. That's how twisted the laws are down there. And this is why I tell people to do your research and read the laws before you decide to move down there. And this pertains to every state, not just Texas, as far as like doing your due diligence and reading the laws. But Texas is so ass backwards. You can get all the guns in the world, no gun license. Doesn't matter what your status is. They don't even care if you're a felon. You can go get a gun right now. Walk around with an AR-15 and all types of shit. Ain't no police gonna stop you. It's open carry state. You don't need a license. To the point where it's like the Wild Wild West. And it's so crazy now to the point where you have to look over your shoulder because everybody has guns. People are shooting in traffic every single day down there. And it's so crazy to the point where if somebody's in your yard, you could use the stand your ground law just like Florida and say, I was in fear of my life, and pop somebody right there in your yard because it's Texas. That's how ass backwards that state is. But yeah, this is just a prime example of the foolery that you have to consider of as far as the politics and the justice system of what's, happening down there. It's very divided. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's very black versus white. Even though they have liberal cities like Austin and Dallas and Houston, that don't mean shit. You could be in one of those very cities or outside of it and still experience the bullshit. You can still experience the racism regardless. It doesn't matter how fancy it is. It doesn't matter how diverse it is. It doesn't matter how cultural it is. The shit is what it is. It's still going to be racist. It's still going to be backwards because it's so conservative as a whole. It's a red state. You don't really have any real freedoms down there. It's like modern day slavery. I'm not joking. Like, this is why I left. And it's not safe for the LGBTQ community either. They made it so unsafe for them to the point where they're just like, if anyone has, I don't know, gay marriage, for example, down there, they're probably going to end up in jail too, just for that shit, because it's illegal. It's not legal down there, apparently. Even though Obama made it legal nationwide across all the states. Texas is one of those states that don't recognize the shit. And unless they changed something recently, it's still illegal. But yeah, they made it so anti-gay and so minority. It's not safe for anyone down there, for crying out loud. And don't even get me started on the weed laws. In case you missed it, marijuana is still legal in the state of Texas. Unless you have a medical marijuana card. You cannot purchase weed legally in the state of Texas. Recreational weed, that is. If they catch you with even as slight as a blunt or a grinder with just the crumbs of weed, your ass is going to county lockup for 6 months in the county jail of Texas over that. Now, if depending on the jurisdiction, depending on what city you get caught in, because some cities decriminalize weed, which means that they no longer put you in jail for it, but they will give you a citation for it. And that's places like Austin, Houston, Dallas, the liberal cities, again, San Antonio, they will give you a citation for it. You'll get a ticket, but you won't go to jail. But anywhere outside of that mug, outside of them cities I named off, them little good old boy counties in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, your ass is going to jail. Yeah, you're going to catch a charge for weed. Weed. Something that doesn't even kill you. You're still going to jail. You're still getting locked up. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. This ain't even all of it. I couldn't even tell you half of what they probably pushed through legislation in 2026 as far as the crazy laws that they have down there. But this is just a prime example of how different it is compared to other states, like where I'm at in Virginia. Virginia, weed is legal here all day. Hallelujah. I don't smoke weed, but I feel like it's really cool to know that people have the freedom to do what the hell they want to do over here. And we have the freedom to gamble. Now, I do gamble on occasion. I do. But the point is that we have more freedoms up north. We not slaves. Those are slaves down south. There's no real freedoms down south. I'm sorry. Those are still slaves. But yeah, the whole situation with the whole Karmelo Anthony trial is really sad. And another similar situation that really pissed me off, that I made a clip about that you'll see coming up, is about the Rick Chow guy, an Asian man who was a corner store owner in South Carolina, killed a young black teenager who was only 14 years old. His name was Cyrus something. I forget the last name. He had a funny last name. But he killed a young black boy over a bottle of water. He chased him out of his corner store and killed him as he was running away. And he still killed him. Shot him to death. And this incident happened back in 2023. They just now had the trial for him. And guess what? The verdict for the Chow guy was not guilty. Even though it was clear as day that he murdered an innocent child who was unarmed, by the way. Just like Trayvon Martin, they let him off. I couldn't believe it. It pissed me off. I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Is this what the world has come to? Like, we're just letting off complete murderers who intentionally chase after people like they're animals and kill them, even after they left the store and everything, and didn't steal shit, by the way. He didn't even have anything. Someone looked at him and racially profiled him because he was black in an Asian man's store. We already know the dynamic between us and the Asians. Every time we go to the beauty supply stores, you know, Ling Ling is staring at us like we're going to steal the whole fucking store. We already know the dynamic between that. It's not a no-brainer. We already know what they think about us. So I already knew what the situation was. But it's sad. Stuff like this really irks me to the point where they intentionally let off real murderers who intentionally chase after people and kill them for nothing. It's just like the Latasha Harlin story. Y'all remember the young black girl out of Southside Los Angeles back in the 90s? Latasha Harlin was in a corner store. Same situation. But this time it was an Asian woman who accused her of stealing a bottle of orange juice, and she killed her over a fucking bottle of orange juice. I'll never forget it. I remember it just as clear as day, and I was a kid when that happened. It was so sad. But shit like that is the reason why there is no real justice. This is why everything is so damn corrupt. Shit like that really pisses me off, because it's just like, what the fuck? You know, I would expect some real justice, but at the end of the day, there is no real justice. Like I said, it's just us. J-U-S-T-U-S. Just us as a collective alone. We are on our own, clearly. From what I saw after that damn verdict. We are on our own as black people. As a black community as a whole, we are on our own. Now it's like we have to fend for ourselves, do everything by ourselves. Because no one cares. And it's painful to watch all this chaos unfold. It's very painful. And that's why I'm just irritated. And people get mad at me and say, why are you talking about this? Why are you so gung-ho about this? Because It affects me as a black person. God forbid I had any children. Whew, thank God I don't have any. But God forbid I had a child I had to worry about that's going to possibly get lynched in the streets by some racist mug that's intentionally chasing them down the street because they allegedly thought that the person stole something from their store or something. I would be living in fear the whole time. I would literally live in fear. This shit would piss me off so bad to the point where I wouldn't even feel comfortable being in America alone as a parent with a black child. This is why I'm to the point where I feel like if you're a parent or an auntie or a guardian of a child, a black child specifically, or any type of minority, as far as like, you know, even the brown kids, the Latino community, because they count too, because they constantly get lynched, but people don't talk about that shit enough. We might as well just put our money together, create a GoFundMe, and leave the country. Because I feel like it's not safe anymore. It's not safe in America. It's just not. I feel like people will be better off in other countries because I don't hear the slightest hint of crazy racism to the point where it results in death. Like targeted racism like this. And I'm just like, you know, it makes me want to cry. It really makes me want to cry because even though I don't know these people, it breaks my heart to see a young black man who had a future, who was on his way to college, who had positive mentorship in his life, came from a good family, and just got tossed away like a piece of trash from the system. It pissed me off. And that's why I'm just like, I'm taking it really hard because I'm one of them. You know, people will never understand until you're in our skin. You will never understand the consequences or the shit we go through every day as black people. You will never understand this shit. Never. And I'm yelling because I'm angry, but at the same time, I'm disgusted by the system. And it's not right. It's not fair. It's not fair. But yeah, I'm not going to shed no tears. I'm not going to be like Mary J. Blige and cry all over this, you know, damn video. But I want to say, we got to stick together. Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to stick up for us. We have to stick together, y'all. We do. Seriously. Because the way everything is moving, it's not looking good for us. It's not. And it's not one of these, oh, she's trying to do a rage bait video, a scare tactic video. No, this is from the heart. This is me genuinely being vulnerable, having a vulnerable moment with you guys, expressing my concerns of what's happening. There's so much crap happening that we don't talk about it enough. And I'm tired of sitting in silence. I'm tired of it. I don't like sitting in silence. I don't like that when I see something that is intentionally wrong, throwing an innocent young black man's life away over a first-time offense, like he's a real murderer, and he acted in self-defense. One time. He only stabbed the boy one time. That's all I got to say. One time. It wasn't like he stabbed him multiple times. Call a spade what a spade what it is, whatever the saying is. I don't care. You come after me, call me all types of jigaboos, niggas, whatever. At the end of the day, I know what's right. And I know what's wrong. And in this case, the system was wrong for this shit. It was wrong. It was so wrong on so many levels because, like I said, the roles were reversed. The white boy would have got off. The black boy would have been in the ground. Case closed. Everybody goes home happy, eats fucking chicken and whatever, and watch football and crack open beers and celebrates and has a whole fucking party. But because it's one of our people, they have to make the example of us and teach us not to do it again by throwing the book at us at a first-time offense. First-time offense. Just let that stick in your head for a minute. Imagine this is your child. Your child is a straight A student. Never been a day in jail. Never been a day in trouble. Never messed with nobody. Nothing. Was a student athlete. Very smart. Part of the club, the community, whatever. And then the one time, they encounter some silly shit like a bully in the wrong place, in the wrong time. They are in fear. They act in self-defense. They get the book thrown at them. How would you feel? How would you feel if that was your child? Just answer that question. How would you feel? Because this is why I'm so frustrated. I'm frustrated at the outcome. I'm frustrated at the way everybody is treating this shit like, oh, it's just another nigga. No, it's not. This was a young, established black man who was on his way to a very bright future, being an athlete and being an academic scholar. But no one wants to talk about that shit. Nobody wants to talk about the positive shit. Everybody wants to talk about the negative shit. He killed a white boy. He needs to be lynched. He needs to be hung. You'd be surprised how many videos I've seen on TikTok and even on Instagram about people protesting, clashing with black people, talking about hang them, lynch them. It's sad. I feel like we're in the 1960s again. It's really sad. And I hate it because I'm just like, why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just have a kumbaya and sit down and get along? But you know what? We can't do that because we're living in a fucking bubble to the point where everybody is so closed-minded and pea-brained that they can't open their minds to other cultures and act like we all are in the same bracket. But no, we're not all in the same tax bracket, because when you're poor or you're black or you're not in the fancy club, you don't belong there. And that's exactly what happened to that kid. But yeah, I'm done. I've said what I've said. I've spoken my piece. And I hope that you learned something from this video, because this is probably the only time you'll see me actually crash out over something like this. Normally, I don't make crash out videos on my channel. I make happy-go-lucky, goofy, stupid channels because I make the world think that I'm just a dingy old black girl who don't have a life and don't have nothing better going on because I'm disabled and I can't find a better way to make my day go happier and go luckier and just keep myself excited every day with a big old smile on my face. It's really hard to make a lot of happy content with the bullshit surrounding you. It's really hard to keep a smile on your face and act like everything is okay when it's not okay. And it's really hard to fake the funk and act like everything is peaches and cream and I'm just this perfect pitch person with no real issues, nothing. We all got problems. We all have flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm not one of them. Just know that I'm just one of them broke ass jigaboos who likes to make funny content daily to keep my sanity from flying away. Yeah, I make a lot of funny content for a reason. It's a mental thing for me. Honestly, it really is. A lot of people look at me like, oh, she's crazy, she's this, she's that. That's fine. Let them think what they want to think. I don't give a damn. Because at the end of the day, none of y'all paying my bills. None of y'all are taking care of me. I am paying my bills. I am taking care of me. And that's all you need to know. Because at the end of the day, we all have one life to live. And we have to make the best of that life. Just remember that. But I'm done. This is the end of the special news report, whatever you want to call it. No, it's not a rage bait. No, it's not one of these vulnerable moments where I just was so miserable. I didn't have nothing better to do with my time and I'm so boring. No, this was one of these serious moments that I decided to share and shed light on because we don't talk about it enough. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Forgive me for yelling, but I feel some type of way. I really do. I really do. And it's hard for me to smile through the bullshit when everything is chaotic. And people just walk it off like it's nothing. But yeah, I've said my piece. I'm done. I'm done for real. I'm going to go now and go play taxi driver, because that's what I do for a living, on Uber and Lyft at all the wee hours of the day and night, because I don't sleep. I have insomnia. And until a miracle happens, this is what I do 24/7 a day, besides making content. So yeah, in case you're wondering, that's what I do. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. But yeah, today is just not one of them days where I just felt like, oh, I should just find something up to make the day go by and be goofy for a day and, you know, say something silly. I felt like we needed to have this conversation because nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug like it's nothing, and it's something to me. It's important to me. I don't know about you, but it's important to me. But I'll holler at y'all in the next video. And you'll see some more happy-go-lucky content after this message. But I hope you guys learned something from this. Honestly, seriously, I hope you did. Because, like I said, we don't talk about it enough. We don't. And I'm tired of people sitting in silence and not speaking their 2 cents. We can agree to disagree. I'm not saying I want everybody to agree with me. All I'm saying is that we don't talk about issues like this enough. We don't. But y'all take care. Y'all have a good night. Peace.